Hi there and welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer and I'm going to attempt to start a Meals of the Week video again. It seems like I attempt to start these all the time and then, I don't know, the days just get away from me. But anyway, I wanted to show you how I utilize like a freezer meal. So a while back, I want to say it was probably a little bit over a month ago, I'm pretty sure I showed this on my channel. I made 2 lasagnas. I put like the bigger one in the freezer. So I just used my Pyrex glass baking dish. I made the lasagna, or at least I layered everything up, and then what did I do? I put saran wrap over it, and then I put foil over it. I labeled the foil so that I knew what was in it and how long it should bake and everything like that. And then today, I knew that I wanted to make this. What I did is just pull it out of the freezer about an hour and 15 minutes before I wanted to start baking it. And I just took the saran wrap off and loosened up the foil and then just kind of let it rest and just kind of sit there on top of the stove. And then I set my oven to 300 degrees, so a little bit lower than I normally would bake something like this, but I knew it was still frozen, or at least partially frozen for sure. So then I just put it in the oven, and it has been in the oven at 300. It was in the oven for a little bit over an hour. Then I took it out and the center was still pretty cold but not frozen, so then I bumped it up to 350 degrees. And I had it in for another about 40 minutes or so. And now, as you just saw, it looks very bubbly and it's all completely baked. I am noticing that a couple of the noodles were actually sticking out, so they look a little crunchy, so we'll have to cut that part off. But anyway, now I just bumped up the temperature to 425 because I had one of these loaves of garlic bread in the freezer, so Peter got it on the pan for me, and we're gonna put this in the oven for 5 minutes. Maybe 7 minutes, and then we're gonna make, Peter is so hungry, and then we're gonna make some green beans. Why don't you go grab some green beans out of the pantry, one of those great big cans. It's been storming today, so everyone has just sort of been kind of hunkered down here for the last, like almost, what has it been, Warren? Almost 2 hours?
Yeah.
For about almost 2 hours. We were in a tornado warning.
Yeah.
It never really got that bad by us though. I do understand that there's some hail in some other areas and stuff, but by us we just got wind, rain, and nothing seems that bad. I mean, looking around outside, I don't really see anything blowing over or anything like that. So it's just kind of a dark night, and this is just going to be a good meal to have on a night like this. Just a reminder to you, if you are at a point in your life where you are able to make a double of a casserole or something, make one now, put the other one in the freezer to bring out at a later date. It is just such a treat to have a couple of those in your freezer. I know that there's tons of videos out there and books about freezer meals, and I have done days where we make like mega freezer meals on, on one day, and I like to do that, especially when I know there's something busy that's coming up in our life. But more than that, what I really, really like to do is just get like 1 or 2 casseroles into the freezer. It just seems to work. It's a lot easier to carve out time to make 2 casseroles, just make a double of what you're making today, than to try to carve out an entire day to do a full day of freezer meal prep. All right, so we need to get this into the oven because the oven preheated, and get the table set, and everybody is going to be hungry. And just so you know, it's always best if you're making lasagna to make it in like plenty of time before you want to eat it, because it's always best if it rests on top of the stove, kind of cooling and setting up for anywhere from 15 to all the way up to 30 minutes. I mean, because then you can just eat it right away and you don't have to burn your mouth. Even on days when I'm at home all day cooking or homeschooling or gardening or doing that kind of thing, I wear perfume. I absolutely love wearing scents. I like kind of changing it up every now and again. And today I am partnering with Dossier Fine Fragrances once again to bring to you some of their newest scents again. Dossier Fragrances pride themselves on having low prices, and they also encourage you to buy 3 bottles or more for the best price. You get a good discount when you do that. Fruity Magnolia is similar to Versace's Bright Crystal. I'm not familiar with every single one of the designer scents, but I do know that Fruity Magnolia is another one that I like. I have found that a number of them that usually say floral or fruity I tend to like. Fruity Magnolia has such a nice fresh scent. I absolutely love it. And then I also wanted to show you one of their other newer scents here, and this one is Green Verbena. Green Verbena is similar to Creed's Green Irish Tweed. They also come with little samples so that you can try the perfume before breaking into the full size, because you can always return them. So you have 30 days to try it out, see if you like it on your skin, see if, you know, maybe your husband likes it. But they always offer free returns, and you can exchange it really as many times as you want to. Let's give Green Verbena a little sniff. Can you guys smell that? This one I feel like could almost maybe be for men. Nice thing on their website is that they will tell you if it is a unisex scent or if it's more of a woman's scent or a men's scent. I like that a lot. Dossier perfumes are typically $29, $39, or $49. That is just usually a great savings compared to the name brand scents, which sometimes can range all the way up to $100, $150. Have you looked at perfumes lately? Oh my goodness, go on to something like Nordstrom's or Macy's and take a look around at some of the name brand top scents right now, and they are pricey. So anyway, this is definitely worth a try because they have such great scents. They have great quality. I love the holding power of their perfumes. So you can click on the first link in the description box below. That'll take you over to Dossier's website. You can peruse their scents, boy, and just get lost in all the different descriptions and everything. Thank you to Dossier for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back to cooking. Warren had requested that we have cast iron pizza. He's like, I need cast iron pizza again. And I thought that that was a great idea for supper tonight as well. So I'm just gonna run down to the basement and get pork sausage out and get that frying up here this morning. While the sausage is browning on the stovetop, I thought that I would get some pizza crust going. So I'm gonna try pizza crust just a little bit different way. I'm doubling a recipe right now that I'm sort of adapting from a recipe that I found that uses an egg along with my regular pizza crust recipe. So what I have here in my KitchenAid, you found some shorts? Yeah. Okay, put those on, okay? I have 2.5 cups of warm water, and I'm gonna put in 2.5 tablespoons of yeast and just a drizzle of honey. I don't have much left. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna give that a little stir, and then I'm going to let this rest here for just a few minutes. Okay, Joe got a little bit of a jump start on me, so I wasn't able to show you how I was waiting for the yeast to get frothy. I went out to do laundry and he was in here stirring and stirring. So, okay, what we're gonna do next though is crack in 2 eggs.
Okay.
You do this one.
You this one.
You do it.
You do it.
You did it before, remember? Harder. Okay, good. Now let's see. Woo! Okay, looks good. Wow, that was amazing that we didn't get any shells in there. Now we're gonna really fluff our flour again. And Joe,
pick up my flour.
You're gonna put these in. Count them out.
1, 2.
You don't even need to stir. We're gonna put it in the...
3. Just one more. Mom. 10 more.
What number is that?
5.
No, that was 4. You
4.
gotta keep track.
5.
What was that?
10.
No, what comes after 5?
5.
Then what?
5.
What comes after 5?
6.
Yeah, that was number 6. And now we need to put in about a half. There you go, put that half in. And then we need a teaspoon of salt. That looks good. No more flour. Don't put any more flour in. And then we are going to put in some dry milk powder. There's 2 tablespoons. Okay, very good. We're going to put this in the KitchenAid now. See, we probably shouldn't have done this, because now look what we've got going on. Ooh, we're going to have a mess. Just wait, just wait, just wait.
Yeah, a mess.
Yeah, we're going to have a mess here, aren't we?
Lick it.
I'm not going to lick it, because...
Mom, please.
No, honey, you're not going to like this right now, okay? It's going to be real salty on top if any of that's on my finger, and you're not going to like it.
Yes.
All right, you bring it over to the KitchenAid.
It's like, it's, you know, like how they drag race?
Okay, so what we did, you want to aim it over here?
Yeah.
Aim it over here so that it can see. There you go, Joe. Okay, so we just have that mixing on low. If you haven't ever used your KitchenAid with the dough hook, just start it on low until everything is combined, and then I'm going to turn it up.
Oh my.
Aim it over there again. And then I have it turned up, and I'm gonna let it go for about 6 minutes, I think. Basically until it's kind of soft, elastic, and it's cleaning the side of the bowl. You want that dough to sort of, all the little bits of dough to stick to it and clean the sides of the bowl. That's a little close, Joe.
Yeah, it's like, it goes like, face.
It's really close to my face, you're right, okay.
It goes to like, my ears.
Okay, the sausage is just about done. Some of it's a little more done than others. That's okay, we don't mind. I'm going to use some of my favorite pizza seasoning, which is Portesi. You can just hop onto the Walmart website and put that in your cart, and they will ship it right to you if you want to try it. It's so good. I'm putting about a teaspoon of that in. Just going to get that mixed around. Nope, leave it turned on. It's got to go for about 5 to 6 minutes, Joe. All right, this is what the dough looks like. It's soft, it's springy, and yeah, see how it like really cleaned the edges of the bowl really well as it kind of was like slapping around in there. I'm going to cover this, and I have to hop on a call here shortly, and then I'll be back. That'll probably be just about enough time to let this kind of rest and rise for a little bit. All right, well, there's clearly no problem with this pizza dough recipe not rising. It has just risen way up. So I'm still doing laundry right now. I'm going to finish that up, and then I will come back and shape this. So I'm going to kind of just like punch it down. There we go. And then I'm going to shape this into, I believe, 4 crusts. And then a couple of them will be for tonight. And I think I'll shape them right on here. here are all of the pizza blanks or the pizza crusts. I just separated them out with some, well, it's a mix. I ran out of parchment paper. So parchment paper and wax paper. And I'm going to pop these in the freezer right now. 2 of them for sure we're going to use tonight for supper. Maybe, depending on, you know, who all is here, we may even make a 3rd one. But anyway, this was it. This is a super soft and pliable dough. It worked really, really well to roll out, and it's staying put. That's one thing with dough, is that oftentimes it likes to spring back. But this one actually, when I rolled it, it actually stayed in place. So I'm going to go pop this in the freezer, and they probably won't freeze rock hard by supper tonight, and that's actually good because I don't want them, you know, frozen when I start with them for tonight. If I wasn't making pizza tonight, I would freeze these solid and then wrap them in saran wrap, and then I can just bring them out anytime and have pizza crust ready to go. Supper time now, and Maria's just helping with spreading out some oil in these cast iron pizza pans. And I just wanted to say that these both showed up, I think, UPS one day. And I was like, what is that really heavy? And so somebody out there sent these 2 cast iron pizza pans to us. So just thank you so much. They are super, super nice to have. Especially if I need to make more than just 2 at a time, I can use these as well as my other cast iron pans. Anyway, I'm excited to use these. So we're going to put these in the oven, get them nice and hot, bring them out, put some cornmeal on them, and then put the pizza crusts on them. So here are the pizza crusts, and they were more frozen, but I brought them out about 10 minutes ago. And the other 2 I'm going to wrap up and save for another time. So this is just, I think this is going to work out really, really well to do it like this. And you kind of have it done in advance a little bit, so you're not trying to do all of it at the supper hour. We just have pizza sauce. This recipe, I'm sure I have it on my channel someplace. I'll try to link to it. I made it last year. And yeah, this pizza is just going to be sausage and onion, and this one is going to be plain sausage. So super simple tonight.
Sausage and cheese.
Well, of course, we're going to put cheese on them. But super, super simple tonight. I use preheated pans and then 15 minutes at 475. I have gone all the way up to 500 degrees. I'm glad I didn't this time. I think the cheese would have gotten a little too dark. But yes,
I think
smells
they look
good.
perfect.
Thanks,
like
Peter.
I'm drooling.
You're drooling? I hope not. Not over the pizza I'm going to eat. Tonight's supper is a meatless meal, and I just threw it together really quick. I didn't even show the process of it because it's just a bag of store brand Doritos with some chili beans and some leftover cheese sauce, some somewhat getting old tomatoes, sour cream, onions, that kind of thing. That's Joe's plate. You got a little salsa or something over there that looks kind of healthy?
Yes.
There it is.
Better.
Okay. All right, so just a really, really quick supper for this Friday night. So it is 99 degrees in the shade today, and we are going to be having just a quintessential, or at least in my mind, a quintessential summer meal. I have some barbecue that I previously made. It's in the freezer, so I'm just going to bring that up. I'm going to get that thawing here shortly. And then I'm making, excuse me, and then I'm making potato salad, and we're going to have watermelon. That just sounds so summery to me. So for my potato salad, what I have in here is, so here's the bowl, okay, and there's a melon. So you can kind of get a feel for the size of the bowl. So for my potato salad, I have 1 small yellow onion diced, that's at the bottom. I have 3 ribs of celery, again diced, that's at the bottom. I have 6 of these, it was like a, kind of like a golden potato of some kind. I don't think they were Yukon Golds. They're just kind of a small to medium. I have 6 medium potatoes in here, and then I have 8 hard-boiled eggs. I'm going to put some salt and pepper in here. I'm going to put a pretty good scoop of Miracle Whip, another equal sized scoop of mayo, maybe a splash of milk. Sometimes it just kind of depends on how much the potatoes soak up that dressing. Sometimes I'll add just a splash, like a tablespoon of milk. And then I always like to put in just a very tiny sprinkle of ground mustard. So probably like a 1/4 teaspoon, just a little tiny bit. And that is my potato salad. If I had radishes today, I would also slice radishes. Probably for a bowl like this, I would put 4 radishes in, slice those up. And if I had green onions, I would also slice in some of the green onions as well. But I don't have those things. So this is going to be it, and this is going to be just delicious. I didn't make a huge bowl because this is just the right amount for Warren and I to have potato salad for supper. And then I have a hair someplace here. And then I have potato salad probably for tomorrow lunch, and we might have a little bit left for tomorrow's supper. Sam, Joseph, Peter, Maria, none of them are big fans of potato salad, and they're totally missing out. I'm just going to fold everything together. It does take a little bit to do this, I suppose. I could mix the salt, pepper, mayo, Miracle Whip, and ground mustard, and possibly a splash of milk in a different container. Stir it up well in there, but I just have never done that. I don't remember my mom doing it like that. Well, she never used mayo. She just used straight Miracle Whip. I honestly don't even think she put salt and pepper or ground mustard in hers, but I like that. I like that flavoring, so I always add that to mine. But I just fold it until everything is well covered, adding in a little extra Miracle Whip if I need to. Definitely needs some more Miracle Whip. I'm going to put about another 1/4 to 1/3 cup in. A little bit more salt, a little more pepper. My goodness, there's so many potatoes trying to get away. All right, that looks just right. Whenever you mix something in the bowl that you're going to serve it in, I think it just is a nice idea to kind of clean up the edge of the bowl. Maybe even sort of wipe it down about a 1/2 inch inside, just to make it look like, well, you know when you go to a salad bar and everything is all messy and yucky looking, or you go to the salad bar and it looks like they just put everything in fresh and it looks so neat and clean and everything. I guess that's just how I want it to look when I first serve it anyway. I'm just going to chill it just like this for about an hour until it's supper time.
Big thunder.
Bring the thunder. Ooh, looks good. Here we are for another supper. Tonight we are having something that I typically just call kielbasa stir fry. So I have some of this beef smoked kielbasa, and then what is this one? This one is actually pork, and this is a Polish kielbasa. I have 2 of those. I'm going to get those sliced up a little bit later. But basically what I do is I do some peppers and onions. This is yellow onion, red pepper. I do have some frozen jalapenos. I'm going to throw some of those in as well. I've never done it like this before where I use potatoes, but I do have I mean, I've done fried potatoes with kielbasa before, but never really, I guess, quite like this. But anyway, the other day I made a whole lot of potatoes in my Instant Pot. I made the whole entire 5-pound bag, I think. And I'm just utilizing them through the week. It's so nice to have cooked potatoes. Over here in my cast iron, this is a really big cast iron pan. I actually have some butter and some olive oil. And then as soon as the butter melts, I'm going to put the fried potatoes in first and get those browning, because those are going to take the longest, I think. Well, I know. And then over here I have some jasmine rice ready to go. Some water, butter, and salt. I'm going to get that coming to a boil as well. I do have some leftover watermelon. We didn't finish all the watermelon last night when we had barbecue and potato salad. So we'll have that with this. And then we also have leftover potato salad. So that's going to be just a really simple supper for tonight. We actually, it's 90 degrees right now. It was very, very warm today. And I don't think it was quite as warm and humid as it was yesterday, though. I don't think so. The kids, we went back. We actually have 2 swimming kind of spots on our property, and one of them we haven't utilized in a while, but now that the kids are bigger, it just works really well to do that as well. It's a little bit further away from our home, though. We went to that swimming spot today, and which we usually just refer to as the swimming hole, and we were there. I thought we might be there for about an hour and a half. We were there for a little over 2.5 hours. So when I came up and it was after 5, I was like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? Well, I was just fortunate that I had this in the meat drawer and not in the freezer, so I can make this kind of a supper here really fast for tonight. I'm gonna put these potatoes in and then let this, try to get them about a single layer as best I can. And then I'm going to let these cook here. I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes so that I don't try to turn them too early. Okay, so off camera, I got out my jalapenos and I put in just a couple little chunks of frozen jalapenos. This here is a very, very heaping tablespoon of minced garlic just out of the jar. And then I have some of this garlic and herb seasoning that I'm going to put in. And this does have some salt in it, I think. Yes. So I'm going to go heavy-ish. And then I am going to, I'm going to pull out my basil, and I'm just going to put in a sprinkle of basil as well. Not much, just a little bit extra. Get that stirred around. And then what I like to do is just move everything over to one side. I'm also going to move my cast iron so it's just not quite centered on the flame, and I'm going to add in all the meat and start browning the meat on that side. Okay, this is completely finished. Doesn't that look delicious? It smells so good. I mean, obviously, you can brown your kielbasas as dark as you want them. Some of them are going to be a little darker than others. That's all right. Usually the kids will pick out the lighter colored ones. I like the darker ones. Warren likes the darker, I think, too. So anyway, yes, this is just such a nice, easy supper, just a skillet supper. We'll serve this with rice. There isn't a lot of juice to this, but I mean, I suppose you could put like some broth in here at this point if you wanted. And that would kind of, make a little bit more of a liquid, a little bit more of a juiciness to it to serve over the rice. The rice is finished as well. And that's it. Super easy supper tonight. Alrighty, pizzas are going in. Does anybody want to guess what that means? Dun, 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 dun. It is once a month grocery haul day. And I have to say, these pizzas came from Aldi and they're kind of underachieving, I would say, considering I can see all of the drops of sauce through. Anyway, I'll probably have to throw a little extra cheese on this, which is a bummer because pizzas have gone way up. So we're back from another good long afternoon of swimming, and I'm making something really easy again for supper tonight. I have some chicken patties, and there they are. I'm going to put those into the air fryer in just a second here. So these are actually from when we went to Cloverdale Country Store, and I got for $7.89. I got almost 5 pounds of breaded chicken patties. So great price. Great easy thing to have for supper. And then along with that, we're going to be having just a big salad with some sliced tomatoes. And some people will probably make the chicken patties into sandwiches. And so I'm just slicing up some pickles to go with that, getting some lettuce ready, and pulling out the mayo. Well, every single time I turn on the camera this week, I feel like I look exactly the same way. Hair pulled back. It has been a really, really good, hot week. Just the kind of week that I absolutely love in the summer. Like, I would like the whole summer to be like this. Anyway, what we're doing tonight is just another really easy meal. We are doing, who's coming in behind me? Oh, Peter's in. We are going to do tacos. It was actually Peter who suggested it after lunch because I was like, oh, I wanted to make those. I wanted to make baked chicken wings tonight, and I forgot to take the meat out last night, and it's pretty rock hard frozen. So we'll have to do that this weekend, probably Saturday. And when I was thinking, what should I do? Peter's like, tacos? So the only time that I went to the Cloverdale store, I know I've mentioned that a couple times in this video, I picked up, you want to grab those, Peter?
Sure.
I grabbed a couple packets, seasoning packets for Taco Bell. Is it Taco Bell or Taco John's?
Taco Bell.
For Taco Bell taco seasoning. They're in the door. Well, anyway, that again, Peter had requested. We were looking around at all the stuff at Cloverdale, and these were, I think, 25 cents. We'll look at what the ticket says on there. But I think they were 25 cents a package. And he's like, can we try? Oh, 59 cents? Are you sure? Okay, it says 59 cents, but I seem to remember that they had them marked at, I thought there was something like 3 for $99 or something. I don't think I paid 59, but if I did, I think that's still a fine price for that. And he just wanted to try it. And so normally I make my own taco seasoning mix. I keep it in a jar. Where is it right now? Nope, that's my fajita mix. Am I out of taco seasoning mix right now? Oh no, right here. Okay, so normally I keep it, I just make a great big, like a pint of taco seasoning mix at a time, and I just keep it in there, and I always use that, and that works great. But when Peter was like, can we try the Taco Bell? I said, sure. That was a lot of words to just tell you we are having tacos tonight. I'm going to start by dicing up an onion, getting that browning in a tiny bit of, what should I use? A tiny bit of olive oil, and then we'll add in the meat and get that browning, taco seasoning, a little bit of water, just like it says on the back of the pack, and tacos will be ready. I always love to start with sauteing up an onion before adding in the whatever kind of meat I'm using, whether it's usually it's ground venison, of course, but sometimes we have ground beef. I'm not particularly at a point in our life in like family size that I have to bulk up our meat. We will be like fine. I mean, we've always been fine, but there was a time that we would run out of venison before the next hunting season would come along, and now we are at a point where we're What?
I said that was wrong.
Oh, Peter said that was rough. But anyway, we are now at a point where we don't typically run out anymore just because there's only 6 of us at home. What I'm saying here is that if you are at a point where you really need to bulk up your meat, because you need your meat to go further due to family size, meat availability, financial situation, whatever it might be, or maybe you're just trying to decrease the amount of meat in your diet. I don't know, whatever it might be. Put in an onion. If you like green pepper, throw in a green pepper. You can always, even I heard someone talking one time, I think on my channel here, someone had mentioned once about even adding in like cooked lentils into their meat. You can always make things with like rice and noodles and double up the rice or the pasta to stretch your meat. So there's lots of little tricks you can do if you're trying to stretch your meat. Now, if you have a huge meat eating family and they're going to like have a mutiny on you, then just stop at the onion and that should be good. Those are the nuts that you need. Yep, Peter came into the kitchen with me here and he wants to make cornflake clusters. What? You need 1 cup? It doesn't look like quite a cup, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just, probably don't even have to measure it. Did you happen to grease this bowl?
No.
No? What does the directions say? Read me the directions there, bud.
Oh, in a greased bowl.
In a greased bowl. So you're going to want to either move these to the side and spray some vegetable spray, and then move them to the other side and spray some vegetable spray so that your bowl is greased. Cornflake clusters is on page 66 in my cookbook here. There we go, just in case you want to see it. Necessary food for football Sundays. Yes, it is. This is what cornflake clusters looks like. Is that hot?
Yeah.
Pretty hot, isn't it? So that is the sugar, and the corn syrup is brought to a good hard boil. Then what did you do?
And then I added a cup of peanut butter.
While it was still boiling?
No, while you turn off the stove and then you add a cup of peanut butter. And then once it gets melted, you pour it into 5 cups of cornflakes and a cup of peanuts.
Yep, and just stir it around. At this point now, Peter, you're going to want to work kind of quickly because this actually cools down, and it works better to drop them out on here when everything is still hot. If it cools off, they don't look quite as pretty if it cools off, and it's a little harder to work with. So anyway, that's what Peter's going to be working on. I have the meat all ready to go. I even turned it off because it's plenty hot. Yes, you can have a little piece of dough. And Maria could smell cookie dough. The other night, actually made the recipe, which is probably similar to the Toll House recipe. It's just on the back of this Baker's Corner from Aldi chocolate chips. And I actually put nuts in them, just like I did, and I did that again today.
Mom,
and the kids...
It's too hot.
Okay, I'll come over just a second. And the kids gobbled these up like there weren't even nuts. So I did the same thing again. I put the nuts in because I absolutely love nuts in chocolate chip cookies. And this is my favorite. I have to whisper this even though Warren's not in the house because he could hear me say this from miles away. I like this recipe, which is like the Toll House recipe, the best. This is the recipe that I grew up on, using all butter and nuts. And he grew up with the recipe that's in my first cookbook with the oatmeal, and it starts with shortening, and sometimes just to change it up, I'll do half shortening and half butter when I make them, and he can tell right away. And yeah, I know I've said this on my channel before, but yeah, I love the flavor of butter in cookies, and I just love that sort of little meltiness, and he likes more of a shortening and salty cookie. So we're just different that way. And Peter's like, me too.
But I like both of them.
You like both of them?
Same.
You won't pass by a chocolate chip cookie? No. So anyway, I'm working on making cookies, and you don't have to use your hands. You just take a scoop. Yep. Just take a scoop, like not even a big one, and then just plop it right here. Sometimes I use a second spoon if I need to, but that looks like it came off nice. And then what I do is I just kind of tuck anything that falls off. I kind of just tuck it in there so it attaches, and as they cool, they kind of firm up just a little bit, and everything holds together nicely. Just like that. Who said you could do that? Once was enough, don't you think? I know, I love this cookie dough too. Sometime we should do it like just eggless and then have it as cookie dough. Wouldn't that be delicious with ice cream? Okay, tonight's going to be real simple here. Like I said before, I have the taco meat underneath there. We have out the shells. 2 nights ago we had rice, so I just added a little bit of water to that, stirred it around to kind of loosen it up, and I have that warming. We also had salad last night for supper, and so this is going to be the lettuce that we'll use for our tacos. We have a little salsa left here, and I brought up another jar of salsa. This is what we like best for hot sauce for tacos. It's the Taco Bell hot sauce, some sour cream, and some cheese. I wish I would have remembered to take this out earlier because it's still a little frozen, but I think as long as the meat is hot enough, it will it'll thaw that quickly. And that is going to be it. It is going to be tacos and a little leftover rice for supper tonight. It's been easy and it's going to be good. I completely forgot to show you the cookies. Thanks for helping, Joe. You gonna hold it for me? Oh, no. We're not having cookies right now. We're waiting till after supper. Hold it like that so I can get video inside there, okay? Hold it like this, honey, towards my camera. All right, so I totally forgot to show you the cookies before, but this is what a cookie looks like. That sounded funny. But this is what, we're not going to eat it right now. This is what the cookies look like. They're just yummy and delicious, and I love adding the ground walnuts. I was surprised. I made these the other night, and I put nuts in them, and Maria, after eating a few, was like, do these have nuts? I said, yes, and she's like, they're really good. So that was all that's all it took. I am adding nuts now to my cookies again, which is how that's how Grandma used to always make cookies. She put nuts in them.
Yeah, so next time, guys.
Oh.
See ya.
How are your tacos looking, Joe?
Good.
Good? They look nice.
So next time.
That's a lot of lettuce. Are you going to eat all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So next time, guys.
See you next time. So tonight we are going to be having, well, that was kind of hot. We're going to be having the hearty macaroni bake with French fried onions on it. I made this as a freezer meal a while back, and it's just, these have been really coming in handy lately this summer when I want to just have something basically pretty quick that I can just put in the oven. And this was in the oven from almost frozen for 1 hour, and it seems to be just right. Yes, Joe. Move on. Move on. Yes, I got it. We're gonna have it with some salad and some strawberries, and that is going to be a summertime Saturday supper. So this is not part of our supper, but I just wanted to share that I'm making ginger cookie bars. This is volume 1, page 46. This is just a favorite recipe of ours. When I said I have to make something for the potluck tomorrow, Warren was like, ginger cookie bars, how about that? I said, yep, that sounds just fine. They're so easy to make. They're so quick for me. I hardly even have to measure anything because I just wing it. I just kind of have the measurements figured out and I just wing it. I know what it should look like and feel like. So anyway, also, that is the worst lighting ever. Okay, we were just out at the campfire, so I'm feeling a little campfire-ish. But anyway, just wanted to check in also and let you know about that hearty hearty macaroni casserole. I will find that video again and link it in this one because it was delicious. We all, I think, really, really liked it. I absolutely loved the peppers in there. Warren said it was really good. Peter said it was good.
Yeah, it's really good.
It was really good. I saw Maria eating it. Joe gobbled it up, and he's not a huge fan of pasta dishes really at all. Well, unless they're covered in like sauce or something, then he'll eat it.
The only part I didn't like was some of the noodles on the top that got a little bit crispy.
Oh, sure. So some of the noodles did get a little crispy right around the edge, but I mean, you either crunch them or you pick them off. Either way. I'm going to get this egg creamed in right now. And when I do take these to a potluck, I like to sprinkle cinnamon sugar over the top. I think it just makes them look a little bit prettier, but when it's at home, I never do that step. Well, it's really not even a step because I don't even think it's written on here anyplace. But now I'm just sprinkling on a cinnamon sugar mixture, and in order to get these bars to kind of spread into the pan, I always use the cold water trick. And what that is you just get your hands wet with cold water and just press the cookie dough or whatever it might be to press and spread the dough. Then the dough does not stick to your hands. It works really great with like popcorn balls, or if you're trying to push in Rice Krispie treats or something like that. It just works really good. Just the cold water trick. Okay, I'm going to put these in the oven for 10 minutes at 375 degrees. You want to watch because you do not want to overbake these. So thanks so much for tuning into another edition of Meals of the Week. If you are interested in the Dossier perfume, you can check the description box below for a link and a promotional code. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.